making it up. And I will tell you what is the reason behind this dream. He says, during the days we were in Hajj, I had the wedding of my daughter. And in her wedding, I invited all the big shots and big people, the wealthy people and the leaders of the country. And because of that, we had a big, huge reception, and we were preparing the food for almost 3-4 days. He says, after we had the reception, the night after that, I was very tired and I went to rest. Someone was knocking at my door late in the night. When I opened the door, it happened to be a woman from our neighborhood that I know her. She is a Muslim woman, and she is known for her virtuousness. She is a very nice woman. And I saw her standing at my door. She had a candle in her hand. She said to me, Abdullah, we don't have a light at our home. Could you please, Abdullah, put on the fire in this candle? Light the candle for me. I started thinking, because a fire worshipper, according to our religion, this is not allowed. And especially taking the fire at night time. After thinking for a short while, I said, this poor lady, she doesn't even have no light at her home. I know she has 3 young daughters, orphans, and they have to survive somehow. I said to myself, let me just give her the light. And I kindled the light for her and gave it to her. A little later, she knocked the door again, and she said, oh, it went off. Could you please put it on again? And again, I put it on for her, and she was a little hesitant to leave. And I started thinking, there is something wrong there. She goes out. A few minutes later, she knocks at the door again. She says, Boran, I'm sorry to disturb you at this time, but this was only an excuse for me to come and talk to you. I need to talk to you about something. That is, you had the wedding of your daughter, and you people were preparing food for all of these days. You know my situation. I'm a widow. I have 3 young daughters. They're orphans. They lost their father. And for all of these 3-4 days, as they were smelling the food, they were crying and asking me to come to you and ask you for some food for them. But I told them that no, they are cooking it for themselves and it's for their need. I can't go and ask anyone. But Abdullah, Bahram, now I know that the wedding is over. Everything is going to go to garbage. If you please give me something from the leftover that you have so I can feed my daughters. They are crying. Bahram saying, as soon as I heard this, I had tears in my eyes, and I quickly left my home, and I said, I said to this lady, okay, I will carry these things with my own hands, and I'll bring it to your daughters. She couldn't believe. She said, no, you don't have to. You just give me whatever you have, left over you have, I will take it to my daughters. I said, no, I will come and feed your daughters with my own hands. He takes all the food and other things that he could afford to go and give it to them at that time, and he says, I went there, and I fed them, and I waited there, and I told them, I'm not leaving this home until I will see a smile on your face, because I was the cause for you people to cry for the last 3-4 days. I stayed there until I saw a smile on their face, and I kept on giving them jewelry, a lot of gifts, and until I saw a big smile on their face. When I was leaving, their mother told them to ask them to make dua for me, and they said to me that may Allah bless you with Islam and give you a place with our Prophet in Jannah. After mentioning this, Bahram says to Abdullah ibn Mubarak, Abdullah, please, I would like to take the Shahada and I would like to come into Islam. Your Prophet, not only that he took care of orphans when he was alive, even today he is taking care of his Ummah so much that he comes to you in your dream and he knows of what's happening over here. If this is true, then of course I have to be a Muslim because I don't find this anywhere else in the world. Our connection with the Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did not break. It's a strong connection. No one else can have it. It's only this Ummah, and it's a blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on this Ummah. Imam Malik rahimahullah, I'm sure you heard about him. He used to wait to see Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in his dream to ask him questions. And one day he wants to go for Hajj. He's thinking about whether should I go for Hajj or not. He wants to die and be buried in Medina. And his worry is if I would go for Hajj, and I die over there, then I will be buried out of Medina. And he sees Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in his dream and asking, Ya Rasulullah, it's time for Hajj, what should I do? Should I go for Hajj? If you tell me that I have enough life to live, that I can go and come back, then I will go, otherwise I won't go for Hajj, because I want to be buried in Medina here. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam pointed 5 fingers, like this, to Imam Malik rahmatullahi alayhi. Now Imam Malik rahmatullahi alayhi woke up, He didn't know what does this 5 mean, 5 days, weeks, months, years. So he sent a person to Imam Ibn Sirin, rahimahullah. Ask Imam Ibn Sirin, what does he say about this? Imam Ibn Sirin says, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is not telling you how many days you're going to live. He is informing you about an ayah that is in the Quran, that 5 things no one has the knowledge about them except Allah. إِنَّ اللَّهَ عِنْدَهُ عِلْمُ السَّاعَةِ وَيُنَزِّلُ الْغَيْثَ وَيَعْلَمُ مَا فِي الْأَرْحَامِ وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ مَاذَا تَكْسِبُ غَدًا وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ بِأَيِّ أَرْضٍ تَمُوتُ. So I don't know when you will die. I'm skipping a long history, but this is something that I may remind you. Normally we talk about seerah. A very unique chapter of the seerah is the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam after his death. Very unique portion of the seerah that no one else can have it. The seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam after his death. The second principle of Darul Uloom, Marafiuddin rahmatullahi alayhi. Once he's standing in a group of students, and one of the students comes with some food in his hand, and he says he stands shouting at his teacher, the principal of the school. He says, look at this food. It's full of water. There is nothing, no meat, there is nothing in it. And you people are feeding the students things like this. This is what you think we are going to survive on? And he throws the food over there, right there, and it goes away. While he was doing this, the student saying that Rafiuddin rahmatullahi alayhi kept on looking at the student from top to bottom. He didn't say anything. He was just quiet. But he just looking at this. Very surprisingly. The student left, and Rafiuddin rahmatullahi alayhi asked the other students, is he a student of our Darul Uloom? They said, yes. Who gave him the admission? I'm the person who gave the final approval for the admission, and I don't remember the student. They said, no, he's a student of our Darul Uloom. He said, no, go and find out, investigate about him. They investigated and found out that he used the name of another student who had similar name, and when that student was out, he came up to pretending that he was that student, and he started just eating in the school. So the students asked Rafiuddin rahmatullahi alayhi, how did you know that he was not a student? He said, because when I became the principal, the day I became the principal, I saw Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in my dream. He was standing at the well. They had a well over there of water. He was standing at the well, and as he's pulling the water out, it was all milk, and he started giving everyone milk. And all the people started taking the milk from him. When everyone was done, he told me that all the people that got the milk from this well from my hands, they are the students of Darul Uloom. In my dream, I don't remember seeing this student. He says, every student that comes and applies over here, as soon as I see the face, I recognize him if he was the student of our Darul Uloom or not. And accordingly, I give him the admission or I reject him. Our connection is there. Hakim Dadullah rahmatullahi alayhi, well-known scholar. And in fact, most of the knowledge of deen that is being spread, and keep this in mind, most of the knowledge of deen that is being spread in the world through books, articles, Islamic institutes like Darul Uloom all around the world, and the work of Jama'ah, it's all coming from the silsila of Hakim Dadullah rahmatullahi alayhi. He says that he was the Khalifa of another student of a scholar who passed away. Then he was still looking forward to have his connection with some other scholar, and he couldn't make any decision who he should choose as his shaykh and his teacher. One day he saw Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in his dream, that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam held his hand, and he puts it into the hand of another man saying, this is your shaykh. He wakes up and he doesn't know the man. It only adds to his confusion that now I don't know who that person is. So he starts prowling all around looking for that person, who that person be. Someone told him that there is a good scholar in our nearby town, that it wasn't far away from them. In our nearby town, there is a big scholar, he sits, he's imam in a small masjid, and he teaches children maktab.